Welcome to the Making of Me podcast. We have Pennie Wilson, a mental fitness coach and certified hypnotherapist who help parents, teachers, and leaders turn stress into calm self mastery. Pennie, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Grateful.
Yeah, thank you. So, Pennie, what challenge shaped you into who you are today?
Challenges that shaped me into who I am have been very hard things. I was in a narcissistic marriage for 17 years, and I had to figure out how to create my own identity inside of myself, regardless of what I was being told from my circumstances or the people around me. So I love that your podcast is about the stories that make us who we are, because I believe that we're all on a hero's journey. If you're familiar with that sequence of events where you feel a calling inside and there's some type of barrier stopping you from achieving that calling, and then you have experiences that are really hard but help you grow into who you can be to fulfill that. So those stories are definitely a part of who I am.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. So what is the difference now between reacting and responding? And why does the distinctions matter so much in leadership, parenting, and teaching?
Yeah, that's an awesome question, because I can show you the before picture and the after picture of who I was. So 20 years ago, I call it the Momzilla stage, where I was reacting automatically to all these things. My kids were little. I have 5 kids, and I was reacting to all the experience was happening. If you want a visual, I don't know if you've seen the pinball machine game where there's a ball that comes from the top and it goes boing, 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 boing,
Yeah.
and it bounces through everything. All of those emotional experiences I was reacting to. I was stuck in fight or flight. It was drama. I felt like I was in a constant emergency state. The after picture of that is when I learned to let go of the heavy emotions. I can see the experience happening without reacting to it, and I can calm down and I can choose to respond intentionally from who I want to be, which helps me to grow into that person that I'm becoming.
Yeah, amazing. I think it's really lovely way of actually like looking at it differently. So you actually work with highly capable people who feel overwhelmed. What actually happens beneath the surface when someone look fine but feel reactive and exhausted?
So people that are highly capable tend to find high achieving things that they want to do, accomplish. They feel that call. They want to do it excellent. They want to do it big, and they want to give something big to the world. And yet inside, there might be a misalignment of, does this really feel aligned to who I am? Is this part of what is going to bring me joy and what's going to help me to live and fulfill my purpose? So in those highly capable situations, people might get caught in an expectation trap. Maybe their parents want them to do something, or maybe, a friend thinks that they should. So that misalignment usually happens from a people-pleasing type of, I have to. And when you're saying, listen to your words, I have to, then that's a clue that you're pointed in the direction of a have to, an expectation, pointing toward, what do I desire? What do I want? Moving toward that direction, that call that you feel inside. That's two opposite directions of how you can get into alignment with truly who can lead you to who you want to be.
Wow, that's really more like a lovely way of looking at it. Yeah, what do I want from I want to compared to where the kind of they actually more like get to choose for you, which is from the composite perspective of it that I have to, which simply means that at this point you don't have a will. You're just acting a script, and yeah, the script definitely most times that is not the real. Or you're just trying to actually more like fill in the gap, fill in a role, fill in an office, which doesn't speak volumes to who you actually want to be. And that was really amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that script that you bring in too, because that brings in so much of the past stories of everything that we think is what has to be, because of those expectations of who we think we want others to see us as. And when you learn to question the assumptions of your past, then you can really dig inside of your story and ask, is that really going to be the part that's going to help me align to becoming that person I want to be? So questioning your assumptions, it's such a hard thing to do, but really learning to do that and asking myself, is this really what I want? Is this really true for me?
Yeah, amazing. So many People actually more like try to think their way out of stress. Why does information alone often fail to create lasting change?
Oh my goodness. So, actually, in our community discussion yesterday, we were talking about this exact thing. And one of the other hypnotherapists that is in the group with me brought in several different points, but it basically boils down to, and which we posted on our YouTube social channel of Kokoro Creators. If you'd like to go there and watch that, they will explain deeper what I'm talking about. But basically, when we're in that reactive state, the back of our mind is taken over living in those reactions. And until you, like, if you're driving a car, if you're in reverse, you can imagine that state of fight or flight like you're in reverse. You're going backwards, you're spiraling downward. Versus if you look at the gear shift between reverse and going forward into drive, there's the button for neutral. So going into neutral means getting calm and accessing that calm part in the front of your brain and finding that, okay, let's just slow down for a minute, listen to your breathing, calm, like finding whatever tools work for you and tuning into your body and finding those ways that you can find that stillness, the calmness, the alignment, and then finding the way to take the next step and move forward.
That was really amazing. But that just explaining that or giving it volumes shows that just information alone cannot, but just being able to being aware, knowing when to kind of especially the way you actually just described between the jar and the fact that neutral calming your system to actually more like think different, question a whole lot of stuff, just speak volumes. So you describe our survival mode as learned state rather than a personal flaw. How does that perspective shift reduce shame and open door for real change?
Yeah. So when you're in a perfectionistic, I have to fix myself, there's something wrong with me, the brain is actually pointed to what you don't like about yourself. You're resisting that part of you that is having pain. So if you imagine relating to a little child that just fell down and scraped their knee, what are they experiencing? They're experiencing pain. And we can look at ourselves in that same way. Instead of saying you are a bad person because you fell down and you hurt your knee, that's the shame that keeps us trapped in the downward spiral. When you learn to accept all the parts of you, the parts that we're struggling, the parts that growing right now, then you can point your mind toward that, okay, how can I have compassion for that part that it's growing? And what does that really look like to be there for myself? There's things that we can do for ourselves that no one else can do for us. We have the power inside of us to support ourselves in ways that no one else can. And so often we reach for things and people outside of us to fix us and rescue us. But us being there and finding that support inside of ourselves, having compassion for that part that's hurt, that is where the healing begins. We truly see ourselves as whole when we move forward in that journey of acceptance to find that, okay, I'm okay, I'm good, I can do this. Like we find that encouraging voice inside of us instead of that shameful voice. So the shame is what keeps us trapped inside. I have to fix me. There's something wrong with me versus I'm accepting who I am. I'm okay. This is where I am. This is my journey. And it's good. It's good right where I am.
I think from what you just said, it just speaks volumes. So acceptance is the first step towards healing. Accept to the current level you are. Despite it might be ups and downs, it might be a mess, it might be not that straight yet. But just accepting it that this is who I've come to be, accepting it, and is the way of actually more like looking forward to actually do a whole lot of changes other than looking for outward validations without really accepting who we are currently. That's really amazing. Yeah. So why do strong, responsible people often struggle the most with slowing down and creating calm for themselves?
We're always on the go. We feel like, oh my gosh, I got to do the next thing. I've got to do the next thing. I was having a conversation with one of the members of our community, and she is a high achiever. She's always going. And it's that part of us that wants to achieve and be capable. So again, looking at the part, this could be seen as the perspective of, I'm not accepted. I'm not capable. And then I'm trying to achieve accomplishments on the outside to make up for that. But when you switch your focus from who you are afraid that you are, like the part of you that you don't like, to the achieving part and actually wanting to accomplish, I am always on the go. I am always finding the next step and doing the next thing. And so that feeling for me, when I'm pointed toward what I want to do, that feeling of accomplishment is an addiction. And I'm like, okay, let me do the next thing. And it feels so good to accomplish and to do. But there are moments when finding that pause, finding the, okay, I need to slow down and take care of me. I need to just be still. Like after a full day of work last night, I'm like, okay, I got to meditate for a half an hour just so I could get my calmness back and get all my pieces back together. So it's super hard to slow down because we want to do so much. We're big achievers, and finding that place to take care of ourselves, it's not natural. It's not a normal, this is an easy thing for me. So has to be very intentional and a deliberate choice.
So, what roles does emotional safety play in helping people reconnect with their values and lead from integrity instead of pressure?
Emotional values. Values are the very first thing you want to look at when you are moving in a desired direction. You're asking yourself, what do I want to do? And in order to be in alignment with what's going to bring you joy, finding your values is going to be that thing that creates that yes feeling inside of you. Versus if you're living by someone else's playbook and you're doing the XYZ of what you think that you should do, then it's always going to feel like you're off balance, like standing on one leg, trying to keep yourself standing up, which isn't an easy thing to do. So standing on 2 feet gives you that power to find the values inside of yourself. And when you can trust yourself and trust your decisions, then that gives other people the ability to trust you as well. So the messy middle, I think it's a perspective shift. It's a place that's hard. It's a place that requires enormous growth because it's going from a place, like I imagine it like you're floating downstream. You're going with the flow. You're doing everything in life that is the reactive things. The inertia it takes to change directions from a downstream to an upstream, that is the messy middle. That's the really hard place where you need to make hard decisions and let go of things in your life that aren't who you are. So if you have a perspective that this is pointing you toward who you're becoming, that this is allowing you to grow as that person we talked about in the beginning, it is helping you, like the school of life, those things that you can let go of who you're not, let go of the heavy emotions, let go of the anger and the hate, and allow forgiveness to come into your heart and compassion for yourself. So that place in the messy middle, if you can point your mind, this is hard, this is bad, I don't like this, toward, man, this is helping me to become who I want to be. This is helping me to grow. This is helping me to reach toward that person. Shifting your mind toward that as why it's helping you will help you to see it as a good thing, gaining traction, and you can feel that growth. What I do most to support people in that messy middle is 3 key focuses that we talk about every week in our group. The first thing is what is going right. Point your brain toward intentionally looking toward the victories. What is going right? How am I growing? How am I moving toward what I want to do? The second thing is looking toward what is not going right in the sense of acknowledging what's hard, validating that part of you that is learning, is struggling, and being there for that part of you. And then the next thing is, what is the one next thing that I can do to become that person I want to be? Is it doing a podcast? Is it writing a book? Is it joining a community? Find that one next step that's going to support you in moving forward.
Wow. Thank you for actually sharing those particular points. I think it just speaks volumes to looking at everything on how they could actually make you start trusting yourself or start building those particular value is the next question to start from, not from the other way around, looking at the negative aspect that I hate this and I don't like this and here and there. Yeah, that's really amazing. So for Pennie, before we actually go, for my audience who want to connect with you, who want to listen on to you, can they connect with you and how can they reach out to you?
Our website probably is the easiest way, Kokoro Creators. That's KOKORO creators.com. It means heart, body, mind, and soul. and you can go on there and learn about our programs. We have a programs tab. There's a free assessment you can do to find out where you are in your journey of 4 different stages. And if it feels aligned, I would love to connect. We have our first program that helps people that are in that fight or flight state and then deciding what's right for you in your journey. Just reach out and connect with me, and we will be able to see how we can support you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pennie. Thank you so much for sharing your insight and strategy for calm self masteries. Listener, if you want, you can actually reach out to the show notes for the website. Once again, it's really a pleasure have you on the show, Pennie, and thank you for sharing your
Okay,
wealth of
we're
knowledge.
good. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, and do have a lovely
Bye.
day. Yeah, thank you.